They say time heals all wounds, but not for me. It's been 30 years since Titanic, and I still think about Jack every day. I often find myself staring at the ocean. My life was anything but simple once I landed in New York. I found it difficult to adjust to a normal life. At night, I would toss and turn, haunted by the screams. In the day, I wept, consumed by my misery. Slowly, I slipped into a state of madness. Flashbacks vivid in my mind. My grief from losing Jack pushed me over the edge, and I was sent to a mental institution.
Come along, Rose. Don't fight it. The crazy house is the best place for you. We'll make you forget all about Titanic. Lock her in isolation.
Because there was no record of Jack ever being on Titanic, nobody believed he existed. They said he was a figment of my imagination.
Do you often have trouble telling reality from fantasy?
I felt like I was standing on the precipice of madness with nobody to catch me. The doctors told me Jack wasn't real, but I knew he was.
He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone.
So I hatched a plan. A plan to escape. I waited until night, when the halls were empty. I crept through the air ducts of the mental institute. It wasn't long until I discovered I was missing. But by then, I was gone.
Code red! Code red! Rose Dawson has escaped. I repeat, Rose Dawson has escaped.
I walked for days, alone and exhausted, determined to make it back to the city. Back to New York. The journey almost destroyed me, and I was soon overcome with a burning fever. I was delirious, slipping in and out of consciousness. The doctor told me it was withdrawals from the pills I'd been forced to take in the mental institute. I was riddled with horrible nightmares, each more terrifying than the last. But I survived. Finally, my fever broke and I started to regain my senses.
She's out of danger.
It was then I heard some remarkable news. There were more survivors from Titanic. I had to know. Could it be possible? Could Jack be alive? So I came up with a plan. I was no artist, at least not like Jack, but I designed some flyers. I headed to the docks, looking for information. Little did I know, I was being followed.
It was her. 2 legs, 2 arms, red hair. I was sure of it. It all started a couple of days ago. This real fancy chap comes into my office, saying he needs a private detective.
How do you do?
He hands me a photo of this girl. Real classy bird. He said it was his ex-fiance, gonna get married or something. He was obsessed with her. And he was obsessed with boats. Don't know why. He was loaded. Wealthy industrialist. And I needed the money. So I found out where she lived and passed on her address. I told him she takes a walk to the ocean every morning. He said he had big plans for her.
I headed to the beach like I do every morning to think about Jack. I didn't know I was being hunted. The first shot pierced the air, narrowly missing me. And then I saw him. It was Cal.
She was down on the beach when she was shot. Name on her ID is Rose Dawson. Doesn't look good. Heart rate is dropping. We're losing her. Prep her for surgery. Everything will be okay, Rose.
doctor said I died. For 2 minutes, my heart had stopped, but I survived. I was badly injured from the bullet, and I'd lost a piece of my brain. I had to learn to walk again. The police sent a detective to come and talk to me about the shooting. Even though I'd lost a part of my brain, I still knew who was responsible. Cal Hockley, my ex-fiance, had shot me on the beach. The police searched for him all over New York, but they didn't find him. I was terrified for my life, so the police put me in the witness protection program.
This guy is still out there, Rose. I recommend you enter the witness protection program.
They sent me off to a small village and gave me a new identity. My new name was Muddy May Suggins. I had an FBI agent who went everywhere with me. He took me to the beach for therapy sessions, but all I could think about was Jack. I remembered that newspaper article, More Survivors from Titanic. So I wrote a letter to the captain of the second rescue ship. I had to know, was Jack still alive?
Aye, lassie. I was captain of the ship that found the other survivors from Titanic. We was out there, dead of the night, fishing up the remaining corpses. We came across one young lad, frozen like a popsicle he was. We pulled him in, and that's when we discovered
Did you find anyone?
he was still alive.
Oh my God!
We warmed him up as best we could.
Is there anything we can do to warm him? I have brandy!
Slowly, he started to defrost, just like a frozen hot dog. His eyes started flickering. It was then he finally spoke.
Jack's still alive? Holy fudgebug!
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode. Next time on The Rose Diaries.
It was then I discovered Jack was still alive, but he was suffering from amnesia, and he was also a werewolf.
Rose!
Little did I know I was about to be abducted by aliens. It was then I discovered I was pregnant with Adolf Hitler's baby.
Das ist gut.
Little did I know the plane was about to crash, and I'd be forced to eat the other passengers to survive. It was then that I discovered the monkey that bit me had rabies. I had 24 hours to find a cure. There were more survivors from Titanic. I had to know, could it be possible? Could Jack be alive?